What's up, everybody? Chewy Internet coming at you today, and we are going to do another Marvel Crisis Protocol video. And today we're going to talk about my game last night between me and Hand of Thrawn. It was my Brotherhood against this criminal syndicate. I do have the whole match on YouTube, but I will take it down. The reason why is I got a copyright strike on it because there was some stuff playing in the background. And again, when you're recording and you're uploading to YouTube, you just got to remember, hey, just don't have anything else playing in the background. I wasn't trying to. It's stupid, but whatever. It is what it is. So we're just gonna talk about it here, and I'm not gonna spend much time. I'm just gonna bits and pieces and highlights and all that stuff. So, all right, guys, do me a favor, like, dislike the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. I will have more MCP content, and let's get this rolling. So let's talk about this matchup. Let's talk about Hand of Thrawn's list for a second. He has a really interesting list. I know I played him last season. He was doing the whole Dormammu thing last year. And I ended up winning that match as well against him. But he played, I'm going to pause it here for a second. His is a pretty unique list. He has Dormammu along with the Criminal Syndicate. And along with some other pieces here at 3s so that he can play Dormammu and all that stuff. Really interesting list. I love X23. Especially getting 2 power and just constantly doing her spender. I mean, it's insane. Her spender's great as well. With the reroll and everything, is just phenomenal. Deadpool, Lizard. He does have Honey Badger in as well, so he might just have something with Dormammu with X23 Honey Badger and doing some crazy shenanigans there with the points. And he's got Black Cat, of course. Black Cat's a standard. I mean, with Dormammu, with anyone. I mean, Black Cat's really good. So you can just steal shit and run away, and that's it. And he also has his core Criminal Syndicate looks like it's going to be Kingpin, Crossbones, Bullseye, Black Cat. Really cool stuff there. And he's got the Lizard as well. The Lizard's just amazing. Just a great tank at 3. His extracts and secures. His secures are Intrusions, Gamma Wave, and Demons Downtown. Obviously, Demons Downtown is for Dormammu, which is really good. Gamma Wave is more of a Criminal Syndicate thing. I don't like Dormammu on Gamma Wave at all, to be honest with you. So, really good here. And then Intrusions, I think, is Dormammu as well. You can just go across and do other kind of shit. His extracts, I really like them here. So what ends up happening here is I end up winning priority. And I end up taking Secures 2 reasons. One reason, he has Criminal Syndicate, and I don't want him to play his Secures. Okay, I want to play my Secures. Okay. Second reason is I loved his extracts. Okay, 2 out of 3 here, I'm a fan of. Okay, Research Station has grown on me a little bit, but that's more of a Criminal Syndicate central extract, right? But playing with Brotherhood and with some of the stuff that I have, it's kind of grown on me a little bit. I don't mind it, especially with Magneto and being able to attack and push people and all that stuff. You can push people off the Research Station and then just basically swarm it and take the points from there and just start dazing and KOing models. I don't mind it, right? I don't love it, but I don't mind it. So I have a 2 out of 3 chance of getting something that I like. So I was fine with it. I chose Secures. He, forced him to choose extracts. And let's talk about my list for a second here. With the change, the only thing I changed in this list is I took out Ghost Spider and I added Lizard. The last match that I lost in, which was about a week ago, I wish I had Lizard in that match, honestly, as a 3 threat. Playing Struggle for the Cube, I wish I had Lizard. He's tanky. He's hard to kill. And he has a throw as well. So a throw can help out with Brotherhood and all that. I would definitely love to take him at 3. That's the only change I made. Everything else stayed the same. So it is what it is. So what ends up happening here is choose Secures. I get Mutant Madmen, which, by the way, I'm thinking about cutting in the Brotherhood list, to be honest with you. I don't know what else I'm going to add for the Secures, but I'm thinking about cutting it completely. I wasn't a fan of it last night at all, especially if I was playing... Well, if I played Juggernaut last night, which I didn't, and we'll get into that in a second, we'll see. That's the one on the chopping block right now. I'm just being honest with you. I was hoping for either Demons or Intrusions, but I ended up getting Mutant Madmen, which is cool. Actually, I prefer Mutant Madmen, to be honest with you. Let me take that back. I don't think Criminal Syndicate does relatively well on Mutant Madmen because they have to pay to flip, and their power generation isn't the greatest. So if they have to spend power to flip things, that power is not getting used elsewhere. So yeah, I mean, in this situation, I liked it, but in the long run, as a Brotherhood player, I might choose something else. So he ends up getting Legacy Virus, and which is really good for me because I have a huge plan with Legacy Virus, by the way. And Mutant Madman gets flipped. So let's go to my list right quick, and I'll show you what I ended up choosing. So it took me a second, by the way. I was doing some deliberating because he chose 18 points. I was hoping he chose 19, but he chose 18, which is still fine with me. That's a good point number for me. I just can't do certain things. So my decision making here was either, hey, do I go 4 wide or do I go 5 wide? Okay, now what I mean by that is if I go Magneto Juggernaut with everything that I have here, it was kind of hard for me to go 5 wide with either of my 5 threats, okay? I was debating Scarlet Witch, and I said, no, we're not going to do that. And I was debating Juggernaut if I wanted to play him in this scenario, or whatnot, and I chose not to do that. What I ended up choosing here, and I'll show you in a second. Now, I kept playing around with the numbers and all that. I kept playing with everything. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So I finally settled on the list, and you'll see here in 2 seconds what I settled on. So I ended up going 5 wide here, and I choose Magneto, Rogue, Toad, Dr. Voodoo, Bullseye. So I go 2/2 threats, I go Dr. Voodoo, and I go Rogue. Reason why I do this is kind of like my Legacy Virus team. What I ended up doing here is Toad's main purpose is to grab a virus, get away, run. Voodoo's role is to whoever gets the virus either in the middle or outside, he's the one that's going to chase down that character and steal that extract and take it off of him and do what he needs to do, right? And Rogue is basically just, she punches and saps power and all that stuff, and she's gonna be my Asteroid M target at this point. Either Magneto's gonna use it or Rogue's gonna use it, depending on what side I need to go to get the other virus, basically, and to try to get it off the Toad, right? Okay, so that was basically the plan. I went with that, and for tactics cards, I went Field Dressing, Asteroid M. I did not go Magnetic Refresh. I went Indomitable, Mission Objective. You'll see here in a second what I went. So I went Brace for Impact, Asteroid M, Mission Objective, Field Dressing, Indomitable. Mission Objective is a must-have. It's another way for me to pass the virus off if Toad or someone else were to get dazed. Or if I wanted to end the game, I could just walk up to somebody, Mission Objective, game over. With the power generation that I get from Magneto's leadership, it should be relatively easy for me to do that, okay? So let's get into deployment here. So he goes 6 wide. He goes Kingpin, Lizard, Bullseye, Crossbones, Black Cat, Iron Man. He did bring Helios Laser, okay? My plan was, I knew he was using Helios Laser to try to one-shot Magneto. So wherever Iron Man went, Magneto was going, and I'm like, I'm going to get rid of him as fast as possible. A good way to get rid of a tactics card is just get rid of the character that can use it, right? Just kill him, and that's it. And that was my plan with Magneto this game. Wherever Iron Man was, that's where I was going, okay? So I set up a Bullseye. Simple setup there. I'm going to go straight to the deployment, and then I'll talk about it. I'll show you everything that's going on here. So as you can see, Iron Man went there. Magneto's going here. He's going to chase Iron Man because I'm like, you're not using Helios Laser at all. It's not going to happen. Now, pay attention. Voodoo is sitting in the middle and basically going to chase down whoever gets this extract. Okay? Simple. Rogue is going to sit here, go for this trap, and just kind of sit there and wait to get power and just do her charge and throw shit. Toad is on the outside, going to grab that extract on the outside and basically keep it as safe as possible. Simple enough. Bullseye's just going to get this trap and just basically plink people to death. Okay? So that's pretty much how this is going to go. So I have a standard turn 1. I have priority. I go first. I get within 2 of the virus. Grab it. Done. Okay? We're finished here. He ends up going with Bullseye here now, which is really cool. So now, when he went out and grabbed this, I was the happiest person on the planet. Okay? Bullseye's easy to kill. Easy to kill. And I'm like, all I need is to do 1 damage here with Bullseye. Okay. And Magneto just throws something at him. I have 2 power already. I could throw that car. I could throw this construct. Doesn't matter. I should be able to one-shot him, turn 1, get the virus off of him, and find a way to get that, virus. And basically, the whole goal is to get it to Toad to get the 8 points and win the game. Okay, that was my concern the entire game. So what I end up doing here is I move up with Bullseye. I do a shot. Actually, no. I go with Rogue here. Take the secure. Done. Kingpin goes to the middle here and takes the extract. I'm like, okay, cool. He's not going anywhere. He has no movement shenanigans. He doesn't have Ghost Spider. He has no way to get away from me at this point. So I'm like, at this point, I'm debating, do I go Magneto now or do I wait? I waited. I used Bullseye. I did a shot into Bullseye. I did 1 damage. Really good. Okay. So I end up passing because he has more activations than I do. I let him go with Lizard. He does his thing. So now let's get to my next activation here. Oh, I do a pass here. And then, okay, so when I did my pass, he moved with Iron Man onto here, which was perfect. Because I'm like, Magneto's chasing Iron Man and getting him off the board. Okay? So I end up doing 2 moves here. And I just throw the car at Bullseye and just hand out power. Simple enough. I hand the power to Dr. Voodoo. It gets him to 2 power, which gets him 2 power closer to Kingpin to take the extract off of him, okay? So I throw... Now, this is what was driving me crazy all night. I threw that car at Bullseye, and he just tanked it. He took no damage on that throw, by the way. No damage. Just blocked it. I guess Bullseye was just throwing freaking knives and all that stuff. And just blocking everything or whatever. And that was it. So that's what happened there. He comes up with Crossbones and just basically positions Crossbones to do whatever and take the secure. And then my next activation here is clearly with Dr. Voodoo. I was trying to measure to get within range 3. He should be with the moves that he did. So I do a Spirit Venom into Kingpin. I end up doing 1 damage, but I rolled a failure and I did 1 damage. So I ended up getting the 2 power I needed to take the extract off of Kingpin, which I choose not to do. And the reason why I chose not to do that now was because I didn't want to drop the extract. I have no way of getting that extract on the Voodoo right now. So if I would have done that and dropped the extract off of Kingpin, Black Cat would have got it, and then I would have had to chase Black Cat and start attacking her and start doing whatever and giving her power and making her a pest. I completely ignored Black Cat this entire game. I didn't attack her 1 time. I didn't do anything to her, period. I didn't want her to have power at all because I didn't want her to steal the extracts. I'm like, I'm going to control the extracts and I'm going to do my thing. I let him have that. I got the power I need. I can start turn 1 doing what I need to do. So I choose not to do that, and that's okay. So now Black Cat has to make a decision. Black Cat just kind of gets on top of the building here, just surveys everything. So we go after turn 1. He leads 4-3. So we go to turn 2. I start off with Dr. Voodoo. I get the extract, do the Brother Daniel, drop the token, walk up, put it on Dr. Voodoo, and I end up moving away medium. Okay. Now, I don't know why the token doesn't show up here for Voodoo, but I do have the second token on Voodoo right now. Okay, so now I'm up 2 viruses to 1, and I have 2 secures. I have the point lead. Okay. So we get into it. He doesn't attack into Bullseye. Ends up dazing Bullseye, I believe, here. Yeah, dazes Bullseye, pushes him out. I forgot how he did it, but it is what it is. Oh, with Iron Man. So I was like, okay, cool. My goal was to kill Iron Man anyway. So he comes here, takes the secure. I do my 2 attacks into Iron Man. I spike like a mother here because you can see what happened here. I mean, it was so stupid how much damage I did to Iron Man. I'm leaving him on 1 damage. I do another attack. I daze Iron Man. I'm like, okay, cool. This is all going according to plan here. I go and spend power. Throw a terrain feature at Bullseye. He ends up blocking 2 or whatever, taking some damage. Um, I believe I throw another terrain feature at him. And when I throw the second terrain feature at him, he just blocks it. He blocks the entire thing. Um, and doesn't daze at all. So I had to spend all my power to chuck another construct at him. And it was insane. Like, Bullseye was taking every fucking throw I threw at him. It was insane. It was driving me up the wall. But the important part here is on the next throw, what I end up doing is I end up finally dazing him, and I take the virus off. But what the problem here is I had to spend all my power to do so. So Magneto has no power for his defense tech, so I can't increase my defense here. So he's kind of vulnerable here. And you're going to see why that's bad for me in a second. He ends up coming up with Kingpin here. Doesn't attack, gets the wild and the stun, which is bad for me because I can't gain more than one power on attacks now, and I have no power. So he did no damage to me, but got the push. Got the stun on me, which is huge. And then ends up basically one-shotting Magneto here with Crossbones. You know, and the virus is still there, which is good. So I'm kind of losing the point battle here with the secures. I'm still up on extracts, and I have one thing down there. So he has a really nice turn 2 here. He ends up field dressing Crossbones, which is fine by me. If you're field dressing a 2 threat, I like that. That's no big deal to me. I have field dressing as well, but I have no one that can get here to field dressing Magneto, which kind of sucks. So he ends up field dressing Bullseye, walks up, grabs it, then walks back. And he has the third virus, okay? So Magneto's days, Bullseye's days. I have 2 activations left. I think I pass. I use my second activation here on Toe to just run up and take the virus off of Dr. Voodoo. I'm basically setting myself up to get over to that side to get that third virus. And notice I have not burned Attack this card yet. I still have Asteroid M. I still have Brace for Impact. I still have Mission Objective. I'm in a really good spot here. Okay. I think I end up, honestly, I do an attack into... I forgot what happened here. I think this is Rogue's activation. I go right into Lizard. I do a charge. I didn't get enough damage onto Lizard. Because the whole plan here was to go up, do some damage on Lizard, throw this terrain feature to give power back to Dr. Voodoo and Toad to help them out with their power generation. It didn't happen. So I just do that, and then I run back, and I stay on the secure. Black Cat, again, I'm not doing anything or touching her at all. At this point, she has 2 power. She can't reach anybody on 1 move here to get within 2. So he just goes and tries to steal the secure. Doesn't get it. And we start turn 3. Okay. So doesn't get the secure. And then Black Cat just goes out to here to try to get out there to do something. I don't know what yet. So we go up to turn 3. I believe I start with Magneto here. And I try to get Iron Man off the board. I end up doing 3 damage on the first attack. I end up KOing Iron Man, which gets rid of Helios Laser. So he cannot Helios Laser me to kill Magneto, which is huge. I didn't want Magneto to die, basically. So that's the first KO of the game. We're in a turn 3. I spend my power. I throw a terrain feature. I don't know. I don't remember at who here. I think I throw it at Bullseye. Yeah, I throw it at Bullseye. And that's all she wrote from there. Bullseye dies again. The virus goes out to here. And it's sitting in no man's land. So what I was plotting on doing here was Asteroid Emming in Toad to Magneto to grab that third extract and give me my 8 points. Okay? Because it was just sitting there. I'm trying to remember all that happens here because he does not pick up the virus at all. I think he ends up throwing something at me. I'm not sure. Yeah, so he goes with Kingpin here and does an attack into Magneto. Does some damage. Does not get the push. Does not get the wild or anything. I gain some power. I'm like, okay, cool. We're feeling good here. I got some power. I can finally asteroid him off of Magneto. I believe he ends up doing another attack and then burning Cruelty onto Magneto. It does no damage. So Magneto has 5 health points left, and I'm feeling good at this point. Okay? So now it's my activation. And I think I burn an activation here doing something. I just don't remember what I did. Oh no, what I ended up doing is I burn an activation here, which was really not a smart actually what the reason why I didn't do Asteroid M here, and it's my mistake. What I should have ended up doing here was playing Asteroid M off of Magneto to get. Oh, actually I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I couldn't because Toad had objectives and I couldn't bring Toad over to Magneto. That's why I did not Asteroid M. Okay? So my whole goal now was to maneuver Toad as close to the action as possible. So I was like, I need to get that virus. I'm gonna end up having priority next turn anyway. I think at this point I don't because I did a KO and I did a daze. So I ended up just moving twice with Toad and just position him basically. I don't know what he ended up doing here with his activation. I can't remember what he did. Oh, I know what I ended up doing here. Instead of going with Toad, I apologize. I Asteroid M'd Rogue off of Magneto, and I ended up picking up the virus. Now I remember what I did. To pick up the virus and to move, grab it, and then move, take the point. So I move and take the point. Rogue is done. And he has 3 activations left. Okay. I think he ends up going into Magneto here with Crossbones. And does a couple of points of damage. I think that's what ends up happening here. There's not much happen. Yeah. So I burn my next activation with Toad. I position him out to here. And that's it. I'm just basically getting him closer so I can go and get the viruses. And that's it. He ends up going with Lizard. He takes the point down here. I end up going with Dr. Voodoo here. I spend my 3 power to put Brother Daniel onto him. And I want to see if I can take this secure with 2 points, with 2 dice here. I end up whiffing. Put Brother Daniel on him. I whiffed. And then I believe I just moved again with Dr. Voodoo here. All I'm doing here is setting up the end game to get the viruses, and I'm done. I just need to score a couple of points here, and it's over. It's game over. So Black Cat ends up screwed here because Black Cat can't get within 2 of anybody, within 2 of Toad on 1 move at all. Can't get within 2 of Bullseye. Cannot get within 2 of Rogue as well on 1 move here. To try to steal the objective off of her. So my positioning was really good this game. So as you can see there, he failed. He ends up doing a Troublemaker onto Magneto, which gives him stagger. And then he does the elusive and it moves backwards. I think that was a mistake by him. I think he should have moved forward and been closer to Rogue to try to take that virus off of Rogue. That's just my opinion. So we end up here. I go with Bullseye. I just get onto the point and don't do anything. I don't do any attacks. I didn't want to feed anybody any power. I end up scoring 4 points that turn, putting me to 10. He ends up scoring 3 because of the Mutant Madman. It's 10 to 11 at this point. So he ends up going with Kingpin here. Kingpin is not within 2 of Rogue, so he really doesn't have a lot of options here. So the decision he chose here was to go ahead and daze Magneto. I mean, the KO Magneto, which he ends up doing, which at this point I'm fine with. He ends up moving up once and throwing Rogue out to here. I already have the 2 power to take the objective off of Rogue at this point. So all I end up doing with my next activation is I walk twice with Rogue, get behind this container, and again, Black Cat cannot get to me on 1 move and try to steal the objective. At this point, he basically conceded. I end up moving across here 1 time, taking the objective off of Rogue, and killing Toad and scoring my 8 points, going to 18 to 11. But that's the game. That's how the game went. You know, my advice for Legacy Virus, if you're playing it, you just got to have a plan, right? You got to have a plan to, 1, you got to maintain the points, and then 2, you have to find a way to get all 3 viruses. You don't have to, but you have to control the viruses enough to force your opponent into some decisions that he doesn't want to make. I mean, 8 points is huge, right? I mean, that's half the score you need to win the game. So, you know, you have to have a plan for it. You know, and I did, you know, with Toad and with Voodoo and with Mission Objective, which I didn't get a chance to use. I only used 1 Tactics card this entire game. I didn't get a chance to use a Domino, Field Dressing, Mission Objective, nothing. Just have a plan for it. And my plan for it was Toad getting within 2 to grabbing one of the extracts, Voodoo stealing one, which ended up working, and then to get the third one, just use Magneto to daze the character and as quickly as possible to get the virus off of him, and find a way to get that third virus, and then position Toad to get that third virus as fast as possible, and to sacrifice him and get the 8 points. But yeah, guys, that's it. I mean, that's the recap of this game. Like I said, it's on my channel, but I'm going to take it down because there's a copyright strike because there's some music playing in the background. It wasn't my fault. It's just life. That's how it happened. But yeah, right now I'm 3-1. Right now, I need to win 2 more games to make top cut for the Central League, for the TTS League Season 7. Let's see what happens. I'm doing pretty well with the Brotherhood. I'm really happy with my performance, and I didn't need to use Juggernaut this game, which was awesome. Of course, I use Dr. Voodoo, which he's in the game. I'm gonna use him. I mean, it is what it is. He's just a little overtuned right now. But I think that minor changes to him would make him a fair character. But it is what it is right now. Dr. Voodoo's awesome. Anyways, guys, have a wonderful, blessed day out there. Take care and keep playing MCP. Let me know your thoughts on down below of this recap. I kind of did this on the fly, and if there's anything I can improve upon, let me know down below. Subscribe to the channel. I will have more MCP content, and keep playing MCP, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye-bye.